Hello, welcome back to part 3 of our characters and character traits. So we've already done our oops, my fingers are way over here. My character traits and theories. We had character interactions in our last lesson, and today we're going to talk about characters in surprising ways. Characters act in surprising ways. Sometimes characters do things and you just sit there and you're like, what were you thinking? I don't understand what you were doing and why you decided to do that. And this is the character acting in a surprising way. This is going to be on page 30 of my notebook. I have written this down in my table of contents. I'm going to go ahead and flip over to here are my character traits, character theories, character interactions, and now we're going to say characters act. And this is a long title, so write kind of small. In surprising ways. And I don't know if you guys have ever heard this, but expect the unexpected. So expect your characters to do something that makes you go, why would you do that? That doesn't make any sense. Why aren't you doing this right? So I cannot tell you how many times I have yelled at a book and been like, what are you doing? That's a terrible idea. Don't do it. So that would be our characters acting in surprising ways. Now I am going to take this paper and I'm going to flip it around like so. And I'm going to have a nice, lovely little, oh, hang on, there we go. I'm going to be making a nice, lovely chart. We're going to have 3 columns and only 2 rows. So just keep that in mind as you're making your chart. Oh, sorry, we're going to have 3 rows. One of our rows is our title row. I always hate when I miss the blue line right there. Okay, so we're going to have our title row. It's going to be very, very thin. And then I'm going to take these this giant rectangle right here, and I'm going to just basically cut it in half. So the first section is going to be the character. We need to know who we're talking about. I'm going to follow the blue line down. And then I want to know what they did. Specifically, this is your text evidence. I have some room. Text evidence. Draw my line down. And then I want to know why was that surprising? Why was it surprising when that happened? So we're going to use our lovely characters from Wadney Watt. The first character that kind of acted in a surprising way that made me go, what are you thinking, was Camilla Capybara. So we're going to write down her name. Oops, I spelled that wrong. B-A-R-A, Capybara. And what did she do? The first thing that made really, she started pulling up the weeds, and then she was winging around the wozy, but what was a wozy? And then the one that really made me go, what are you doing, Camilla, is when she decided to wake up leaves. So she yelled at the leaves to wake up. So wake up, boo! She was trying so hard to get those leaves to wake up. Now, why was it surprising? Well, back in the beginning of the book, we had talked with, or the author had explained how Camilla was so smart. And then she starts reading the sign when everybody else is reading the sign. And then she starts deciding to wing around a wozy, but she doesn't even know what a wozy is. So it was a little surprising that she decided to pick up a leaf and start yelling at it because she was supposed to be really smart. So Camilla was supposed to be smart. However, she tried to wake up leaves. And that was the first time, well, not the first time, but that was the biggest time when I just went, Camilla, what are you doing, girl? Why are you trying to wake up leaves when you know that you can't? They're not alive. They don't sleep. So then we have a little bit later on, it's actually not too long after Camilla is trying to wake up leaves, Wadney Wat himself starts acting in a surprising way. So my next character is going to be Wadney Wat. And in the book, it says, in a voice so strong, he had to hold his own ears. Wadney called, let's put that on the next line. Wadney says, go west. So, and this was on page, I don't know what page it was on. It was after Camilla yelled at the leaves to wake up. But in a voice so strong that he had to hold his own ears. Yesterday, in our last lesson, we were talking about how Wadney was so embarrassed and so shy that he was covering his head and he was squeaking so small. And now all of a sudden, he's not squeaking very quietly. He's yelling in this voice really, really strong. So Wadney wasn't afraid to speak in front of his classmates because he'd been afraid before. He had been afraid to talk in front of everybody. As always, if you need to pause in order to fix or finish writing down the notes, you are welcome to do so at this time. Otherwise, I will see you at our next lesson.